Hello everyone, my name is Ashish and welcome to the Xadmin channel. So this is the third session in the core Java interview question and answer. So in my last two lectures, I have discussed regarding some important questions of the core Java. So this is the third session. So before starting the lecture, I will suggest you to watch the lecture till the end and also hit the like button if you like this lecture, and also please like subscribe this Xadmin channel so that you will get the notification like whenever I will upload the new lecture on the Java interview questions and answer. So let's start our session. So the next important question you may get, like what are the feature of a Java programming language? So these are the some of the points I have made for you. So in the same way, you have to reply to the interviewer in a very like briefly, right? So some of the points of the feature of the Java programming language are that Java programming are simple language. It means Java is easy to learn. The learning curve of a Java is very simple, and the syntax of the Java is easier, alike C++ to write the program in it. And we can easily learn the Java program as as we can get n number of like videos in the YouTube, and also the n number of like document from the internet. So nowadays it is like very easy to learn the Java language. And the important thing that the fresher feels that they have a confusion that if I want to learn Java language, then what basically the prerequisite. So there are no prerequisite any language are there to learn Java. You can learn the Java language directly. So it is not required that you should have the knowledge of like any programming language like C, C++, or PHP and all, right? So you can directly learn the Java language, and the learning curve is very low for this language to learn. So this is a very simple language. So next point, you can say that it is object oriented programming language. So Java follows OOPS concept. OOPS definition means object oriented programming. It means that everything depends on the object. So in Java, we have a class. In a class, we define the variables and also the methods, right? So to access that method and the variable, an object is required. So to access the functions or the methods or the variables, you need to create the object first for that class, and then with that object, you can access the variables and the method. So the object, so it is an object oriented programming language, right? So the third point is that it is portable in nature. So what do you mean by portable in nature? It supports read once, write anywhere approach. It means that, let's say there is a developer writes some program, a source code in Java. He saves that code in .java file, and then the Java compiler will compile that .java file, so that .java file will get be compiled and it will be get converted to a bytecode. So that bytecode bytecode can run in every machine. So that's why it is like portable in nature, right? So the fourth point, as a feature, you can say that is a platform independent. So this is the most important point. That's why the Java is like very popular, is that it is a platform independent. So platform independent means, the term means that anything which is not dependent on any platform. So what is platform? A platform is an environment where our program or application runs, right? So Java is platform independent. So let's say someone writes a program and save it to a .java file. Then the Java compiler compiles that file, so it's get converted to a bytecode. Or so now that bytecode can run in any OS. It does not depend that it should that if it is converted in a like Windows OS, then it can only run in Windows OS, right? If any if that bytecode is created in a Windows OS, then that bytecode can run in Mac also. It can run on on like Linux also. So that's why it is a platform independent. And this is a very important point, that Java is platform independent. Java does not depend on any platform to run. Only it's run with a JVM, right? So only it's required a JVM or JDK to run our Java program, but it can run in like any type of platform. The fifth point I will say, that Java is a secured language. So Java is more secure than C and C++, because Java program does not use it does not allow to use the pointer explicitly. It means we cannot use the pointer or the address explicitly. We cannot play with the address in Java, as we can play with the address in C and C++, but we cannot play with the pointer or with the address in Java. That's why it is more secured. So Java is a secured language. It does not uses explicitly pointers, right? So it does not like provide the scope to get hacked, because it does not allow to play with the address. So the next point is, it is robust. So Java is a strong programming language. It is uses strong memory management. So Java has a very strong memory management. It follows automatic memory management. So what do you mean by automatic memory management? It means that it automatically allocates memory to the new created object, and automatically releases that memory when it is not in use. So Java use a garbage collector. uh, so it will consume the memory whenever it is required, and it will automatically releases the memory also when it is not required. So Java use a garbage collector for this. So it is a robust in nature. So the next point is, it is architectural neutral. So architectural neutral means, architecture is very simple, and Java is architectural neutral, as it not depend on the architecture, right? So Java has like eight primitive types. They are integer, like character, float, boolean, double, right? So these are the data type of the Java, and the size of the data type does not depend, means does not vary in respect to the architecture. So basically it use 32 or 64 bit, but the size of the data types, or the primitive data types, are same. They does not vary in respect to the architecture. So that's why Java is a architecture neutral, and it is interpreted. So Java language uses JIT compiler basically. So JIT compiler are the programs by which your source code get converted to a like bytecode, right? So your high level language is converted to a machine language. So Java uses compiler, and compiler are more faster than the interpreter. So in compiler, it compiles the program in a one single go. As an interpreter, it runs the code run one by one, and then it finds the error, and as the error comes, then it will stop there, right? But in compiler, it will show the errors. If it exists, then at the end it will show the error, and it will convert the file, right? So compiler are more faster. So Java use the JIT compiler, right? So this is the important point regarding the Java feature. And Java provides high performance. So Java is a very fast than the other programming language, because Java bytecode is close to the native code. Although Java is still slower than C++ language, but we can consider the Java as a high performance like programming language. And Java is also multi-threaded. So Java program can deal with many tasks at once by defining multiple threads. So what is a thread? A thread is a single program, a single like anything which is handling a single program is known as a thread, right? So Java is multi-threaded. So it means that if we have to do some like n number of tasks, so we can assign this n number tasks to the n number of threads. So yeah, so Java is a multi-threaded uh, programming language. and it does not occupy the memory for each thread because it share a common memory area. So that's why the consumption of the memory is very low for Java, because it, although it handles multiple thread, but it does not but the every thread does not consume the memory. It consume a single special memory, right? So it does not consume for every thread, it is not occupy like memory, right? So that's why it is a multi-threaded environment. So the next point, we can say it is a distributed. So Java language is a distributed because it facilitates user to create distributed applications in Java. It means that it can make us able to access the files by calling the method from any machine on the internet. So we can render this Java application or a program in internet in any machine, and we can call this methods from like any machines on the internet. So it is a distributed environment. So the important next point is that it is dynamic in nature. So what do you mean by dynamic? Dynamic means it will be used when it is like required in the runtime. So Java language is dynamic language. It support dynamic loading of a class. It means that the class can be loaded whenever it is required, right? It will not get loaded in the very start, so we can choose which class to be get loaded whenever it is required in runtime. So it means classes are loaded whenever they are needed or on demand. It also support functions from its native language like C and C++, right? So these are the some of the points or the important features of the Java programming language. And this is the one of the important questions you may get, and you have to tell to the interviewer in the same way by the points in a brief manner, right? So now let's go to the next question. The next question is that what is the difference between Java and C++? So this is the one of the important questions you may get asked if you are a fresher or you have a 2+ of year of experience, right? And also the interviewer want to check that how much you have a knowledge regarding the properties of a Java and a C++, that whether you can differentiate these two language or not. So interviewer want to check your knowledge regarding the same. So let's start our discussion regarding difference between Java and C++. So I have prepared some points. So this will be like very important for you, and also you can quickly grasp this point. Like Java, first difference is that Java is a platform independent. As already we have discussed in our previous sessions, that Java is a platform independent. It means that Java bytecode can run in any platform. It can run in any OS. It can run in Windows, in Mac, or in like Linux. It is not dependent on the platform, right? But C++ is a platform dependent. The second difference is that Java does not support multiple inheritance through class. Although we can achieve this multiple inheritance with the help of interface in Java, but Java directly does not support multiple inheritance through class. So Java has restricted this support with the class. But in C++, Java supports multiple inheritance. Okay. So Java does not support operator overloading. So what do you mean by operator overloading? So let's understand this first. So as we know that operator is like we have a plus, minus, and divide and the module. So these are known as operator. So operator has defined with certain tasks to do. So let's say that we have a plus. So plus is defined to add one number to the variable, right? Let's say that I am using a plus b. So a is 1 and b is 2, right? So it will add both of this number, right? But what if I want to customize this operator functionality? So this can be done in C++, but this cannot be done in Java. So Java has restricted this operator overloading. I hope you understand this point, that Java does not support operator overloading. It means that we cannot customize this operator functionality. Let's say that in C++, I want that the plus should, this plus operator should do any other functionality also. Let's say that by default plus will add any number. Now I want that plus should add two number to the variable. then this can be possible in C++, but this cannot be possible in Java, as Java does not support operator overloading. I hope you understand this point. Now the next point is, the next difference is that Java has restricted the pointer support. Yeah, Java has restricted the pointer support. It means that we cannot play with the pointer or the address of any variable explicitly. So Java is more secure, right? Although in Java internally it use pointer, but we as a developer we cannot use the address or the pointer of any variable or play with it. Java has restricted that. But in C++, Java supports pointer. You can write program with the pointer in C++. So this is the main difference between Java and C++, that Java has restricted the pointer support, but C++ has the support of pointer. And this point also make the Java more secure, because as if there is any hacker, he cannot play with the address of the variable. So will be like very hard for him to intervene to the Java program, right? Because it has restricted the pointer support. Now let's move to the next point, that Java support call by value only, and C++ supports both call by value and call by reference. So let's discuss what is call by value and call by reference. So basically in a method, we can pass the two type of parameters. It can be a value or it can be reference. So in a method, in the parameter or in the argument, we can pass the value, right? So this can be supported in Java. Means in Java only we can pass the value, but we cannot pass the reference. Reference means any address. Let's say that we have some method and that we have argument of the method. In the argument, if we are passing the address or the reference of any variable, then that is called as call by reference. So C++ supports both call by value and call by reference. It means that in a function of a C++, we can pass the value in the argument or in a parameter of a method, and also we can pass the reference or the address of any variable in the argument of the method. But in Java we can pass only value in the argument of a method, right? So this is very important point. Now let's move to the next point, that Java does not support structures and unions, but C++ supports structures and unions. So this is the one of the like a straightforward point, that Java does not support restricted structures and unions. So that's why we say Java is a simple language. It has restricted mm, yeah, so it is like restricted uh, I will say like restricted the complex part. It has make the programming language very simple by restricting all these complex scenarios, right? So that's why Java is a simple language to learn. So next point is that Java does not support structures and unions. Okay, so this is covered. Now next point is Java has built-in thread support. So Java has multi-threading environment, but C++ does not have built-in support for thread, right? Now let's move to the next point, or the last point, that Java is an object-oriented language. However, everything except fundamental type or the primitive type is not an object in Java, but basically a Java is an object-oriented language. And C++ is also an object-oriented programming language. However, in C language, single root hierarchy is not possible, right? So these are the sum of the points or the difference between the Java and the C++. So I have prepared in a table format, in a point to point, so that it will be very easy for you to learn and to understand the difference between the Java and C++. And I hope that this format of the table will help you in your interview. So now let's move to the next question, that what is platform and why Java is a platform independent. So first of all, let's understand what is platform. A platform is an environment where software is executed, or a platform is an environment where your software or a program is executed. So platform can be of two type. It can be hardware based platform or it is software based platform. So now the question is, in which type of platform the Java runs or execute. So Java uses a software based platform. Java is a software programming language, so it uses a software based platform. So now the big question comes, why Java is a platform independent? And it is very important questions, like one of the important questions, and it can be asked to the any like n number of experience of the employee or a candidate, right? So why Java is a platform independent, and it is like very important to understand why it is platform independent. So Java, so let's say that some developer writes a source code or a program, so he will save that program with a .java extension, right? So now the Java compiler will compile that .class file, and that .class file will get converted to a bytecode or a machine code. So it will get converted to a .class. So that .class is called as bytecode. Now this bytecode can be run in any platform. It can run in Windows OS also. It can run in like Linux OS also. It can run in like Mac OS also. It does not depend on the platform. Let's say some code is compiled in a Windows OS. So that bytecode can run in Mac also. It can run in Linux, right? So that's why Java is said as a platform independent. It means that it does not depend on the platform. If we have created a bytecode, then it can run in any platform. Yeah, that's right. That bytecode will run with the will be executed by a JVM, right? But it is platform independent. I hope you understand this point, that why Java is a platform independent, right? Because it does not depend on the platform. So now let's see the next questions. So next are some like true false statements which you can easily like give the answer of this. If you have seen this lecture, sorry. So state whether the Java programs are platform independent. True. So this is true because Java program are platform independent. It does not depend on the platform. So next question is, state whether C program are platform independent. So you have to say false because C program are platform dependent, right? So here C program are platform independent, so it will be false. So next question is, state whether C programs are platform dependent. True. C programs are platform dependent. It depend on the platform. Now let's see the next question. State whether JDK is platform dependent. So here, yes, it will be true because JDK is a platform dependent. Because for Windows OS there will be a different JDK. For like Mac OS there will be a different JDK, and for Linux also it will be a different like JDK. So that's why JDK are platform dependent. It depend on the like platform to platform or OS to OS. But Java language or the bytecode are platform independent, and JDK is a platform dependent. So you have to make this very clear that JDK are platform dependent, because for different OS there will be a different JDK, right? So this is very clear. But that bytecode generated on any OS can run in any platform or any OS, right? Now the next question is, state whether bytecode is platform dependent. So this is true. Bytecode is a platform independent, right? So these are the some important questions I have like prepared for you in this core Java interview sessions. Yeah. So in this way I have completed this session. So thank you, and we will see you in the next lecture.